Well, new at 5 o'clock, an investigation into an online school threat continues at this hour.
This as a soft lockdown was issued for Quincy Senior High School and Baldwin Elementary schools earlier today. WGEM's Gianni Peterson is live at QHS. So Gianni, what have we learned about that situation?
Daniel and Raja, the lockdown was lifted at 2 o'clock today once it was determined that there was no threat to students. During the lockdown, students were allowed to leave school with a parent's permission. However, no one was allowed to come into the building during that time. The lockdown was lifted once law enforcement and the school were able to determine the threat was not from a student.
The threat was deemed not credible. It was not a credible threat in terms of someone local. Oftentimes when these things happen, folks can utilize a different IP address, VPN address in different countries, which is what this situation was.
Superintendent Pettit says the school district has yet to determine if they will have additional security for homecoming events this week. Live in Quincy, Gianni Peterson, WGEM News.
All right, thank you, Gianni. And officials say they still aren't quite sure where that threat may have originated from.